Hey, welcome back to the channel, Fully Invested Fi Labs. Today we'll be going over episode 6 of the full paycheck investing series. You'll notice that I'm doing this a little bit earlier than normal. Normally I get paid around the 15th of the month, and that's on Friday. But what happened is that I actually did stuff a little bit differently this week. So late last week, actually, I already invested my full paycheck early, given the big dips that we were getting last week with earnings and stuff like that and tariff scares. And yeah, so I want to explain my full thinking behind that and also just kind of pay the regular bills that I have to do this week as well. So yeah, as usual, this is all done uninterrupted. I'm filming this currently today on November 10th, but I made all these trades last week, as I mentioned. So yeah, before we get started, let's hop over to the monthly flow chart here. So yeah, for anyone that's new to the channel, this is what I use to basically fully live out of my Robinhood brokerage account and invest 100% of my paycheck. For anyone that's not new to the channel, feel free to skip over this in chapters, or if you want a refresher, stick around. But yeah, what happens is I basically take all my W-2 income and I invest that full amount. So my rough paycheck is 10.8K a month, and I transfer that over to my Robinhood taxable brokerage account. And that gets split into two different buckets. So the growth and dividend growth side, 4K goes towards that. And so that invests in funds like QQQ, SCHD, single stocks like Apple and Microsoft, Costco. And yeah, any quarterly dividends that come in from that gets dripped. And ideally, I never sell any of this because I just want this to always compound and basically be the capital appreciation engine of my portfolio. So yeah, I might just maybe sell in cases where like I might want to move out of single stocks and maybe just push into the ETF. So just for rebalancing purposes, really. And then on the other side of the coin, we have the high yield income ETFs. And really that's in the name, it's purely just for income. I invest in things like XPay, YMAX, WPAY, Ulti, things like that. And roughly that gives a 50% blended yield between all of them. So since there's some high payers and some lower payers. And that's producing a snowballing monthly dividend. So that's growing anywhere between $200 and $300 a month, which is great. So currently that's sitting actually at, this needs to be updated, closer to actually 6.8K. So yeah, you can kind of see that it's grown a lot given my annual bonus that I invested the other week. And yeah, that always gets deposited to cash and margin to pay that down and to kind of keep that under control, because what I'm doing is I'm actively adding to margin and borrowing against the full value of my assets on margin to pay my bills and expenses. So my bills range anywhere between $7,000 and $9,000 a month. And so essentially I borrow the difference between that to bridge the gap, right? So for example, right now, if my dividends are 6.8K a month, really what's kind of coming out of the portfolio at the end of the day on margin is actually 2.2K a month, right? So yeah, that will just kind of keep stacking on margin until eventually my monthly dividends exceed my monthly expenses. And that's when the margin can kind of steadily start being paid down more aggressively. So yeah, the idea is that I'm going to rinse and repeat this until I'm 40 years old, hopefully, and I'll reach 5 by then. So yeah, originally I was going to reach 5 by 45, but now I wanted to kind of front load that and try to reach it by 40 with this strategy. So yeah, we'll see how that pans out. As usual, I have to give the disclaimer that like, none of this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is just for entertainment purposes only, and it's for you to see whether my crazy strategy works out or not. You have to do your own research for this kind of stuff. And yeah, because my strategy is very high risk given the margin that I'm using and the amount of it. So yeah, let's dive in here. So if we pop over to Robinhood today. So yeah, market's closing in about an hour from now, but getting a nice green day after like all the red that happened last week. So yeah, it was down quite a bit last week, down 3% or almost $5,000. So yeah, when I invested was actually closer to, I want to say, was it Thursday? Yeah, like sometime towards the end of the day of Thursday, and then stuff actually just kept dipping the day after until it bounced on Friday again. And then bounce even more today. So yeah, it honestly ate up a lot of my gains. I'm just eking out a green day on the month. On 3 months, I'm still green, luckily, but it did eat up a good chunk of my my gains over the last few months, year to date. So you can kind of see that dip from the last couple of weeks, or last week, really. So now it's bouncing back up. So yeah, margin's definitely not for the faint of heart. You can kind of see like the peaks and valleys. It goes down a lot, goes up a lot, but at least hopefully right now it's trending up. So yeah, and well, if we pop over here, I focused my full paycheck investing on two assets. So I invested $2,000 into Take-Two, so 8.5 shares here, and also so that was $2,000, and then I invested the rest of it, the 3.4K or so, into WPAY, since that had a dip as well. So if we pop over to my account history here, yeah. So the main thing that I did here actually, so I kind of gave myself a paycheck, quote unquote. So I basically transferred the normal paycheck I would have gotten from my HELOC, just so I didn't want to eat up all the margin buffer, some margin buffer, and kind of make things a little bit riskier there. So that's why I did this. And then what I'll do is that once I get my paycheck on Friday, I'll just transfer that paycheck over to the HELOC to basically pay this off essentially. So yeah, just didn't want to go fully on margin and de-risk things as the market was dipping, right? So yeah, if we pop over to when I did these investments, so yeah, November 6th, like I said. So yeah, I put 3.4K into WPAY. So I bought it at 50.46. So close to its initial inception price, really. Yeah, just under it, really, which is nice. So yeah, I just bought like somewhere here near the dip. I didn't quite get it at 49 here, but got it near there. So yeah, I just did like a limit buy there, as you can tell. So I actually did these after hours too. I just wanted to give that a shot as well. And then I put a limit buy on Take-Two because after hours, this was dipping like 10% because of the GTA 6 delay. And yeah, honestly, like their earnings were great. If we pop over to Qualtrim, actually, let's check their earnings here. Yeah, so like, yeah, record revenue so far in 2025. Yeah, even just this last Q3, you can kind of see there. Yeah, definitely from debt still from like purchase and stuff like that, but it's definitely still a lot of cash on hand as well. But yeah, revenue steadily growing. Free cash flow's not been so good the last couple of years, but was growing a lot before that. And then also like the key thing, we check its stock after that. So yeah, and the main thing of why I did that is because, yeah, so GTA 6 got delayed till November 2026. And honestly, I like being in the games industry, I was anticipating that because over the years, the last decade, really, I've seen the pattern with Rockstar when they're putting out their games. They tend to announce an initial release date and then they delay it like roughly 2 times and then they release it. So that happened for GTA 6, that happened for Red Dead Redemption 2. And yeah, these are massive games, right? Yeah, GTA 6 honestly is probably one of the most anticipated games of all time at this point. So I'm sure it's going to be a monster success when that comes out. Yeah, Rockstar's attention to detail in the open world space is really unmatched and as far as game developers go. So I'm sure it'll make the stock rip once it's out. And yeah, GTA 5 is really the best-selling game of all time. It has like 250 million total sold copies or something like that, just because they've been releasing across console generations. And also just GTA Online is very healthy. So yeah, honestly, I think it'll be the same for GTA 6. So like, if we look at their stock, like, so GTA 5 came out September 2013. So, yeah, if we look at like, yeah, if we go like 5 years, the stock was up 500%. If we go 10 years, the stock was up, 600, 700%. And go all the way up to now, up 1,200%. So yeah, I want to get in before GTA 6 releases and hopefully it gets a nice run up from that. And yeah, Take-Two is also kind of the last third-party publisher that's still publicly traded, which is crazy now, given the EA privatization that happened recently. So yeah, that's a big reason I did Take-Two. Just being in the gaming industry, that have a little bit more insight into this and wanted to get in there. I've been eyeing this for a while. So yeah, this will be on the growth side of my portfolio. So yeah, really that was the buys that I did this week. So yeah, as I mentioned, like, yeah, use the HELOC to transfer that over, and then I'll basically just retransfer the paycheck over to the HELOC to pay this off, essentially. So yeah, that's what that does, is that it basically just kind of kept my margin buffer healthy here. So I'm at like 82.5K, 52% margin buffer, and I have like 30.4K available in cash, right? So yeah, so really that kind of just keeps this healthy. So like, because had I, for example, not added that, like if I just added like, yeah, this would have gone down, and I just wanted to keep this healthy given all the dips and stuff. So yeah, but overall, I don't regret buying that dip because like it seems like we're kind of going green given the news of potentially the government shutdown ending, and yeah, some resolutions there as far as like tariffs and stuff like that with China. So we'll see if that keeps up and once all that stuff is actually finalized. But for now, happy about that dip. It could have definitely worked out that, like, I don't know, we'll see by the end of this week, maybe we'll end up at the same spot that we were at after some crazy news that happens, and it would have been the same had I waited. So, but yeah, I want to give that strategy a shot this week. And yeah, and then as far as bills, so this week we pop over to my month-to-month investing sheet here, or saving sheet. So we're in November. And yeah, and also one thing worth mentioning is that, so given that my salary is over 179K and plus my annual bonus, that pushes me to 205K this year, I think I'm topping up on my Social Security payments. So actually I think my last few paychecks might actually be higher, closer to like the 5,900 range. So we'll see. So if I have any extra, I'll actually just invest that on Friday. But yeah, just something worth noting as well when you're pushing past a certain threshold for Social Security tax payments. So yeah, so as far as bills this week, I'll just be doing these guys over here in orange. So I have my Chase Amazon. Yeah, I use that credit card exclusively for Amazon and Whole Foods because you get 5% cash back on that. So that's great cash back. I use it for that. I have my HELOC payment. This I'm basically just rounding out to basically always amount to, so that my monthly expenses are $9,000 now. I wanted to kind of keep this under control. So as I said, like the last few months have been high. Still getting net adds in portfolio given the dividends. But yeah, I want to keep it to 9,000 and see how stuff is all working with the strategy. So yeah, I'll transfer that over. And then also I have my BOA Ascent card. This is the Alaska travel card. Yeah, that's a card I have just because like the points are really nice. You get a companion fare, all that stuff. I use that a lot with my fiance for traveling. And also auto insurance with Allstate. So 144 and 43 as usual. So basically what I'll do as usual, I'm not going to go to those websites and did like those first few videos where I had to do a lot of editing, but I'll just transfer these to my spending account. And then after the video's done, I'm just going to go in and like just draw these out for my spending account to pay the bills. So yeah, so let's do the Chase Amazon first. So $528.19. So let's just hop over to spending. So yeah, so you'll see that individual withdrawable cash. So right now, this is actually not closer to 30K like we saw there, just because like that deposit from the HELOC is still pending. So it takes that's one disadvantage of Robinhood. It takes a little bit for cash to kind of deposit properly. I thought Fidelity was a bit quicker with that. So yeah, we'll do that. And then we want to push that to spending, right? Yeah, and even the bills from last week didn't still withdraw yet. So those are still pending. So we'll do, $528.19 for Chase Amazon, $528.19. So from individual to spending. Yes, transfer that. Close these up. Okay, so that's done. $493.10 for the HELOC. Yeah, just send that straight to the HELOC. $493.10. Oh, gotta approve the transfer. All right. So that's good as well. For my Cent, $300. So from individual to spending, do 300. Cool. And then for insurance, 144.43. So that's the last one. Great. And yeah, and also worth mentioning too that like, so some people think that like you have to have the spending account to make the strategy work, and you don't necessarily do. So you could either use a separate bank account if you're willing to deal with the transfer times. And also with your individual account, you do have access to a routing number and an account number. So that's how like you can direct deposit your paycheck directly into your individual account, right? But the thing is, yeah, you can also, because you have those numbers, you can actually also just withdraw bills from it too. So I actually did the test and it does work. But the big reason I do the spending is just for practical reasons. So one, this comes with a debit card, right? And then if ever I need to get cash out, I can just transfer it from my brokerage and just withdraw cash. And when you direct deposit directly to the spending account, that waives some ATM fees. And also it's a little bit of just kind of practice for like when Robinhood banking comes out. And yeah, you'll have like a little bit of savings interest in there too. So as this money sits for a couple of days in the account, this will kind of get a little bit of interest. It'll be a little bit, but money's money, right? And yeah, so just want to get used to that flow really. And then also on the Monarch side, actually, so anytime I did the test to debit bills out of my individual account, it actually only recognized as transfers for some reason instead of debits. So that was a bit annoying. So I had to do some manual work to flag a transaction. So yeah, ideally I don't want to do that. And from the spending, for some reason that all kind of comes over seamlessly. So yeah, that was worth mentioning just because I've seen people say, oh, I don't understand why you're using the spending, or like, do I need to have the spending account? Like that's totally optional for the strategy, right? But yeah, that's the video today. Yeah, a little bit different from the full paycheck investing video. Yeah, I don't think I'll do this too often. Like maybe if there's like crazy dips, but I don't know, even as I saw with the dips in October, right? Like had I done that back then, actually where I invested at the same point the week after my paycheck because I waited, would have actually been in the same spot, really. So that's why I can't time the market all the time. Time in market beats timing the market, right? So that's why I just consistently, at least I just try to DCA every paycheck, and no matter what, up or down, it'll all average out over time. So yeah, as usual, yeah, if you want to follow me along outside of YouTube, you can follow me on Blossom Social. Yeah, just updated recently, like all my profile stuff as far as like the income of where I'm at and then how much I've invested as well. See all my trades, started reposting my videos here now that I'm not striked anymore for now. Yeah, you can kind of see all my trades here. And even I mentioned, you get an early glimpse of why I did take two last week because I posted there. If you follow along on Snowball as well too, you can get all this for free. Yeah, just all my numbers, all transparently, right? Nothing's hidden. So love being transparent about all that stuff. You'll see what's in the green, what's in the red. So yeah, actually, yeah. So for take two, that's still slightly in the red, given where I bought in at, and it hasn't like bumped up as the others as much yet. But yeah, so we'll see. I might keep buying on this, and then WPAY is actually doing. It's still a little bit in the red as well too, given the dips yesterday. But I definitely bought under the price it was there. But my average, because I bought high before, is still only 53.41 here. So yeah, and then also, yeah, worth mentioning too that I have my Patreon as well too. So yeah, if you join, you'll get all my videos for free. As I upload my videos on YouTube, I upload them on Patreon as well too. So my full backlog is there. It's all in one place. So this is just kind of like a safe alternative for me to have a backup of everything in case there's more YouTube shenanigans. And there is also a supporter tier. This is totally optional, paid, and like, yeah, you just get little perks as far as supporting the channel, of course. You have access to some private Discord channels. You'll eventually get early beta access to my spreadsheets as I get them ready to share publicly for free. And you can kind of get some feedback and help shape them. And yeah, but yeah, otherwise, most of it is free just because, yeah, you can get it on YouTube. So I don't want to charge for watching the videos, right? So yeah, and then as the last thing too, there's also the Discord channel that you can join as well if you'd like. Lots of great discussion there and different people wanting to live out of their brokerage or try their own different takes on the strategy. So yeah, everyone's posting on here. I'm on here every day between videos. So nice to get conversations going there. I talked about some of these trades as well too from the video today. So you can get an early glimpse of some of these. So for example, yeah, talked about buying the dip here would take two, same for WPAY. So yeah, you'll get all my trade alerts there too. So different ways to get my trade alerts if you want to actually follow that. So yeah, that's the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. If you got value out of this, you're excited to keep following along, please follow me on this companion channel, Fully Invested Fi Labs, or on the main channel as well, Fully Invested Fi. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.